The big game is coming up, and let's be honest, no one's just here for the football. It's all about the snacks. Today I got 6 easy, delicious appetizers that will have your guests doing a touchdown dance before kickoff. So grab your game day jersey and let's get started. Okay, for our first appetizer, we're doing mini meatball subs. This is super easy to make and super yummy. So I'll be using 2 packages of pizza dough, and then I have a bag of mozzarella cheese, a bag of pre-cooked beef meatballs, a spaghetti sauce, marinara sauce of your choice, and some Parmesan cheese. Okay, we have our muffin pan pre-sprayed, and we're going to go with our first pizza crust and lay it over our muffin pan. And then a trick is to take a second muffin pan and gently place down, and that'll make room for your meatballs. There we have it. So now we'll just start placing our meatballs in their little slots. And I've got these pre-cooked meatballs here that are perfect. And then next we're going to use the sauce of your choice. I'm using this one. And just put a couple of scoops of sauce in with your meatball. And then we'll move on to the cheese. I'm going to put some Parmesan cheese. And then we'll add some mozzarella cheese. That'll make it nice and cheesy. After we have that done, we're going to take our next pizza crust and just lay it over. And I just kind of like to cut it with a pizza cutter, and then I'll go over it again with a knife. And then I kind of cut all that excess dough off the side of the muffin pan. Once we have all our little individual subs, we're going to just start pinching the corners up and give it a twist. And then these will be ready to go into the oven. I'm going to bake these at 400 degrees for 20 minutes or until golden brown. Before I pop it in, I'm just going to spray it with some olive oil and a little bit of Italian seasoning. Looks good. Okay, into the oven they go. Here we are, our tasty, cheesy mini meatball subs. Looks delicious. We'll just plate these with our favorite marinara sauce and they'll be ready to devour. Okay, for our second appetizer, we are doing smashed potato bites. These are so easy with some baby golden potatoes. I've got some crispy bacon, sour cream, cheese, and we can garnish with some green onion. Super easy to make and one of our crowd favorites. Okay, first thing we're going to do is boil our potatoes, and we want to cook them long enough in boiling water till they're fork tender. And I like to put a little bit of olive oil in there. Okay, so we have our potatoes cooked. I've got a baking sheet with parchment paper and a little bit of olive oil on the bottom, and we're just going to throw them on there. Once they cool down just a little bit, you're going to start smashing them. I like to use this little meat tenderizer and spray it down a little bit so the potatoes don't stick too much. And just start smashing away. I know the flatter you get them, the crispier they get. So your choice. Now I'm going to add a little bit of black pepper, some garlic powder, and also sea salt. Once I get all that on, I'm going to do a light layer of olive oil on top of that. And we will put this in the oven for 380 degrees for about 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, I take them out and I flip them. And then I add my cheese, and then we'll cook them another 10-15 minutes. Here I'm just adding some sharp cheddar cheese. You can use any kind of cheese, as much as little as you want. This is optional, but I've got some crispy bacon that I'm going to add. And we're going to make it rain. Make it rain with bacon. Once you get your toppings on, we're going to put this back in the oven for another 10 to 15 minutes. And here we are, cheesy, crispy potato skins. Looks delicious. We can plate these and put some fresh green onions on it, and also serve it with some sour cream. Very yummy and a crowd favorite. Smashed potato skins. Next, we're going to do some puff pastry basil chicken pinwheels. Now, this is super easy as well, and we have a puff pastry sheet with some basil pesto sauce, Parmesan cheese, and I've just got a bowl of rotisserie chicken here. Here we have our puff pastry sheet, and I've got my baking sheet pre-sprayed with some olive oil. We're going to lay this puff pastry out, and I got my little handy pizza dough roller, and just going to kind of spread it out a little bit. Get more bang for your buck. Now we're going to add our pesto sauce and just lightly spread it all around. You can also do these pinwheels with all different flavors. They're all equally delicious. Just spread a lot on there to get a nice little zing. Once we got that on, we're going to move on to our Parmesan cheese, and we'll sprinkle our cheese. Sprinkle as much or as little as you'd like. And once we get our cheese on, we're going to add our chicken. Okay, now we're just going to tightly roll all this together. And once you get it rolled up, we're going to cut this into slices to make our pinwheels. I usually try to do about an inch pinwheel. If I do less than that, it tends to fall apart. But I'll try some different sizes here to kind of let you see. I do spray it down with a little bit of olive oil, and going to add a little bit of Italian seasoning on top. Okay, we'll just start slicing away here. Once we have these sliced, we're going to lay them face up. And then we will cook these in the oven according to the puff pastry instructions, which is 400 degrees for about 20 minutes. Here we are, our nice golden chicken pinwheels with pesto sauce. Yummy and delicious. And it's not a party without chips and dip. Here we're going to be making a layered bean dip. Now you can put as many or as little layers in it as you like. I'm just doing a bean dip, and we're going to be using some refried beans. I've got some prepackaged guacamole, some red salsa, sour cream, sharp cheddar cheese, green onion, and I like to squeeze a little bit of lime on our top layer. Now what I like to do is go ahead and put my refried beans in the pan, and then I like to bake them for about 10 minutes in the oven for about 350 degrees. And then I add all my cool ingredients, if you will, on top of those warm beans. And so I usually make this right before guests come. So we got a nice little combination of hot and cold. Okay, let's pop these in the oven. Here they are toasty, and we're just going to start adding our layers. I'm going to put the salsa down next. I'm using a red mild salsa. And just kind of spoon it on there. Okay, now we're going to move on to our next layer. I am doing some sharp cheddar cheese. And this doesn't have to be in any order, or you can add or take away anything that you'd like. You can add some olives in there. The only thing that matters with this dip is we're going to have our green playing field. So our guacamole will go on last, just for this football dip. Okay, once we get all that on, we're going to get our holy guacamole here and just start dumping it on and lightly spreading it to make a nice green base layer for our football field. Okay, once we have our playing field, we're just going to pipe some yard lines with some sour cream. Now, disregard that end zone. It's a mess, kind of like our team, but I digress. There's always next year. All that matters is it's going to go quick, so it doesn't really matter how it looks. It's tasty and delicious. Here is our bean layered dip. Yummy. Okay, and I think we all love our veggie and fruit platters. Just pick your favorites and make a delicious display of all your favorite fresh fruits and vegetables. What a tongue twister. So here I got some of our favorites. Serve it with your favorite dip. I've got blue cheese and ranch, and you can also serve a yogurt dip. This is a good way to have fun and offer healthy snacks at your next football party. And we saved the best for last. Why the best? Because this literally takes about a minute to make. This is our pepper jam cream cheese dip, and you serve it with some crackers. This is a classic favorite, and you can use any jam of your choice. I'm using this Ras Cras sauce. And just take your block of cream cheese, pour your sauce over, serve with crackers, and bam, that quick. Number 6 on our appetizer list. Super easy, and this always is a big hit at our parties. Just scoop a little bit out on our cracker here. What a delicious bite. This deserves a score for a touchdown. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Please give me a like if you like this content and subscribe for more. Happy football. Bye-bye.